going on, folks? Well, we're going to be here for another episode of Tackle Tuesday. This week I'm going to go ahead and talk about how to use a bait caster.
I'm a whiskey drinking SOB. If you don't like that, then you won't like me. I'm an outlaw. I said I'm an outlaw.
My favorite on the market is going to be the Abu Garcia Sliver Max. I think it's a great combination for a beginner, somebody that doesn't know how to fish with a bait caster. So one of the first things you're going to do is, straight out of the box, everybody tells you to take and push your release and let your bait drop on something solid. Let the bait drop to something solid. Okay, if you get backlash, at that point you want to adjust your brake. Back in here. You want to adjust your brake, which is going to be this one right here. For right now, I have it tightened up all the way. That's the way I suggest a beginner to do it, is tighten this guy all the way up. Doesn't matter what bait you're throwing. Take it back, load it up, and cast it out. And if you're good, you shouldn't have any backlash whatsoever. So, reel it back in. Okay, so I'm not gonna thumb it. Right here. I'm not gonna thumb it whatsoever. I'm just gonna go ahead and trip it and cast. And very little to no backlash with the brake all the way up, which is the reason that you want to run your thumb on this line, is so right before your bait hits, you kind of bring your thumb down and touch up on it. Now if you can cast it 4, 5, 6 times continuously with your thumb on the line, kind of like that, kind of like this, where when you, one more time, let me get it reeled in and we'll talk about it one more again. So you're going to take here, cast it back, and you're just letting your thumb basically right against it, just friction, to keep it from backlashing. So like I said, with your brake locked all the way down, if you can do that 5, 6, 7, 8 times, then you take your brake and turn it back this way, clockwise, a couple of clicks, cast it out again, no backlash. Every time that you do that, you don't get a backlash, you can break your brake off, you can back your brake off just a little bit more, which will allow your bait to go further. Brake keeps you doing craziness. One more time. Cast it out again. Again, I had a little bit of a backlash there, but I've been fishing a bait caster pretty much all my life, so I can do this cast and not have an issue with backlash. All the way up, no brake whistle. And see, that's what happens right there. So the brake slows you down. Okay, now that I've gotten my backlash out, we did Abu Garcia close-faced reels, we did all kinds of stuff, and we just continually had issues with her being able to get a good, clean, consecutive cast. So I went and bought her this Sliver Max, locked the brake all the way down, took her out in the front yard. I pulled the hooks off of a rattle trap and had her casting it out in the front yard, basically, until she got it down pat. And we came to the water. She was probably one of the quickest ones I learned how to teach it. I've taught both of my boys pretty much the same thing. One of them is 11 now and one of them is 14, and it was just this past year. So, you know, I mean, if they can learn, if Melissa can learn, she's got little bitty tiny hands, and if my two young boys can learn how to use a bait caster, pretty much anybody can. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have Melissa turn the camera out in the direction that I'm casting. And like I said, I'm about halfway break. I'm using a just regular size rattle trap right now. So you'll be able to see exactly how far of a cast I'm getting. The Sliver Max Combo, if I'm not mistaken, I think Academy and places like that sell them for $69, $79, something like that. So I mean, it's a really good beginning combo if you don't have anything better. And you know, spend a little bit of money because of course your lower Walmart Shakespeare's and stuff like that, the Academy H2Os. Some people like them. I hate them. To me, they're just junk, crappy ass stuff. So, you know, once you learn how to cast it and you're not getting your birds nesting, then you can start figuring out how to do the flips and stuff like that with them. I'm still kind of sketchy when it comes to flipping and tossing and pitching and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm going to be practicing here during the winter time. For me, a bait caster is kind of like an extension to my arm. If you turn right here and look at this no weight thing, I've gotten it down pretty much that I can go, you know, right up against it. And that's just a regular cast. That's not even a flip or a toss or anything like that. That's just a regular cast. You know, sidearm cast, pretty much the same thing. You know, I can get pretty close to it. But I'm trying to learn how to pick up my my pitching and my flipping and all that kind of stuff for doing jigs and stuff like that. So that'll be something that I'll do later on. I watched a video a couple of nights ago by LFG where he was in his living room tossing a jig into a glass, sliding a jig into a jar, and then sliding a jig under a door. And basically that's what I'm going to do when these colder months hit and I can't really get out here and do any fishing. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be learning how to toss that jig, how to flip that jig, and how to skip a jig and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so I had to cut that one kind of short. I didn't get to do an outro and stuff like that because we had a storm blowing in, lots and lots of wind noise. It was very apparent in the video. And I apologize about the wind noise. I had this really cool thing that I bought with me, but I had actually forgotten to put it on. Here's your GoPro, and here's this really cool thing. It's called, damn, I don't even remember what the hell it's called. Anyways, it's just basically a sock that goes on your camera like so. It's got a little lens that you put over the top of it before you put this on, but I just didn't do it. But anyways, it's just basically like that, and it cuts your wind noise and stuff down. It basically, there is no thickness here, just the fuzz, that's it. So when the wind blows, this fuzz breaks the wind. Anyways, it's called, the color is called Brown Puppy. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's by Renoview, I think is the name of the company. I'm not for sure, but I'll put a link. I bought it off Amazon. I kind of got the idea from watching LFG's videos. Man, that's twice in one video I've talked about LFG, man. Talk about a fanboy. But I got it from watching an LFG video. I noticed that he always has this little brown, look like a stuffed animal on the front of his GoPro, and I always wondered what it was, so I kind of went to looking for one and found it. And but yeah, it definitely cuts down the wind noise. I'm gonna have to start carrying it in the bass boat because I think I can get up to 40, 50, 60 mile an hour speed in the bass boat and still have that on there and not have any wind noise on my mic. So definitely gonna be something to check out. But thanks for watching Tackle Tuesday. We're not gonna be doing this every week, only because I'm running out of things. I'm running out of videos. I like the on the water format, but obviously I can't get on the water all the time to do this stuff, and obviously I can't predict what I'm going to catch, so I can't say, oh, I'm going to fish with this bait and this bait only, so I can do a video about it and catch on it. It just doesn't work that way. I wished it did, but it just doesn't. So they're going to be sporadic here and there. Probably will have one next week because I've got some good footage of some chatterbait catches, and that's probably what we'll talk about is chatterbaits. But in the meantime and in between time, we're at 420, 422, for something around there, around the 420s. Let's get up to that 500 so we can do another gift card giveaway. Again, we're going to do a $50 Bass Pro gift card giveaway when we hit 500 subscribers. So let's push on that. Let's get it out there, guys. Talk about me. Tell your friends. Tell them, man, go check out this white boy that's out here fishing for these largemouth bass and this, that, and the other, man. I mean, whatever you want to say, I don't give a damn. But yeah, hit me up. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you thought of this. If this was informative for you to be able to make you go out and buy a bait caster and try it out for yourself, or if it was just a bunch of bullshit and useless information. You know, I don't know. But anyways, there's a video right there. There's a video over there. And you hit that fish right there with my logo on it for the subscribe. Yeah, for the subscribe. All right, man. Appreciate it, guys. See y'all next time.